Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm Sana Zafar and you're watching Stars of Nust. हम आपको मिलवाते हैं अपने ग्रेजुएट से who are making a difference in all corners of the world. आज के स्टार ने हमें ज्वाइन किया है फ्रॉम ऑस्ट्रेलिया. हमारे साथ हैं डॉक्टर सैयद Zulqarnain गिलानी. अस्सलाम वालेकुम डॉक्टर Zulqarnain, thank you for joining us.
Walaikum assalam, thank you for having me.
Dr. Zulqarnain ने नस्ट से ग्रेजुएट किया back in 97 when he completed his degree in telecommunication engineering from MCS. And later when he completed his MS in Telecommunication Engineering in 2009. Currently, he is Senior Research Fellow at Edith Cowan University, Perth, Australia, and he's also Adjunct Lecturer at University of Western Australia, Perth. आइए से मिलते हैं. Thank you so much आपके टाइम निकालने का. Probably बहुत अच्छा टाइम है इस वक्त ऑस्ट्रेलिया में when rest of the world is freezing.
जी जी बिल्कुल, अल्लाह का शुक्र है. They try to manage it well.
आपकी प्रोफेशनल जर्नी से स्टार्ट करेंगे, प्लीज बताइएगा व्हाटएवर हैपेंड आफ्टर नस्ट और आफ्टर ग्रेजुएशन.
वेल अंडर ग्रेजुएट के बाद मैंने डिफेंस ज्वाइन किया था. आई वाज इन द डिफेंस फॉर सम टाइम. मैंने मास्टर्स भी इसी में उस दौरान में किया. बाय द एंड राइट स्टार्टेड इन 2007, कंप्लीटेड इन 2009. देन मैं MCS में इंस्ट्रक्टर था. I was teaching in electrical engineering department as well as computer science department. Apart from that, I was the faculty coordinator and department coordinator bhi raha. Then I moved to Australia for my PhD in 2012. वो PhD मैंने complete की और उसके साथ ही मैं फिर postdoc भी रहा. पहली first postdoc मैंने की अपनी UWA से. And then I joined the ECU, Edith Cowan University, in 2018. And since then, I am there. I'm basically a research scientist. That's what I do.
अच्छा, जबरदस्त जर्नी है आपकी. आपको हमेशा से इंटरेस्ट था रिसर्च में, एकेडमिया में? How did
जी, एकेडमिया में और स्टडीज के साथ काफ़ी ज़्यादा था right from the start. तो मैट्रिक FSC में पोजीशन थी अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह बोर्ड में. एंड देन आई जॉइंड Nust MCS. वहाँ भी मेरी UG में पोजीशन थी. देन फॉर सम सर्विस exigencies I couldn't continue my studies immediately after my UG. Then after 10 years did my masters. I was the first 4 GPA, 4 out of 4 GPA in the electrical engineering department in masters. And then that's why I got a scholarship from Australia, and then I landed here.
The 4 GPA, so I think हम एक अलग से इंटरव्यू कर सकते हैं. How does that happen? But माशाल्लाह, this is so amazing. आपकी बहुत सारी रिसर्च है, बहुत कुछ आप कर चुके हैं. People know you because of that. But lately काफी आपको न्यूज में देखा गया because of this particular paper that you wrote about early detection of autism, I think, and your research about that. इसके बारे में कुछ बताएंगे?
Gee, in fact, this is almost a decade-long research. Maybe it started during my PhD. The first thing that we did was to see how masculine or feminine somebody looks from their face. So we know that people are either males or females by sex, but gender is fluid. So somebody could be highly masculine, highly feminine, and stuff like that. And that this is a psychological connotation. It's not how you feel, it's actually how you are. And that has effects on your behavior and other stuff. So what we saw there was that autistic kids are more masculine, whether they are boys or they're girls. And we also saw that higher testosterone levels in utero, that is at the time of birth, correlate to higher masculinity at the age of 22 or even 23. So there was a link between high testosterone levels and autism. The next thing we did was to see how does the facial asymmetry correlate with autism. तो हमने ये देखा कि जो ऑटिस्टिक बच्चे हैं उनका जो लेटरल फेशियल एसिमेट्री है वो ज्यादा थी as compared to their siblings. And the siblings had more facial asymmetry as compared to typically developing kids. The next thing we found out was that the parents of autistic kids also have more asymmetry, facial asymmetry, as compared to control adults. So this, the testosterone line took us to the fact that this could be related to testosterone, but जो facial asymmetry वाली है, it gives you a genetic, gives you a feel that this might be a genetic disorder. So autism is something जिसको अभी तक clearly समझा नहीं गया है. और मैं तो I'm not from the psychology field or biology. I'm from computer science. So मैं खुद उस पे I'm not an expert in that. But what we have found with after in collaboration with our researchers from psychology was these two factors. Now the most important thing that I want to actually tell you over here is that we could detect autism in kids as young as 2 years old. But हमारे ही research group ने recently ये किया कि they randomly selected some children, about 120. Half of them were given intervention, which means right from childhood, वो जो कुछ भी करते, जिस तरह से भी बात करते, जो कुछ उनको person specific intervention दिया जा रहा था, जो clinicians थे, they would intervene. बाकी half को नहीं किया. And they noticed that जिनके साथ person specific intervention किया, right from the beginning, from birth, they did not develop autism at the age of 3 or so. So this paper was recently published in a very high profile journal, which does mean that the more you interact with your child, person specific interaction, the more closer you are to the child, there are possibilities that they may not develop autism if there is some chance because of the heredity or because the other siblings have autism.
Mashallah, बहुत amazing काम है, and I can only hope that this brings us a step closer to knowing this condition. I won't even call it a disease, a condition, and maybe help with, because there's no medicines, there's no treatment for autism, it's just therapy. So I hope that this helps us go in the right direction.
Change.
थोड़ा सा आपकी जर्नी पे वापस आती हूँ. ये जो सारी जर्नी थी आपको माशाल्लाह इतनी अमेजिंग और इतनी अचीवमेंट से भरी हुई जो आपकी जर्नी है, इसको आप किसी तरह अपनी पर्सनालिटी से रिलेट कर सकते हैं? आपको लगता है कि कोई सर्टेन ट्रेट्स दैट हेल्प यू, और मे बी यू डेवलप्ड ओवर टाइम दैट हेल्प यू फोकस मोर, और रिसर्च में ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट हुआ, जनरल इंटरेस्ट, एनीथिंग?
I think बचपन से ही I had this अभी this has become a very crazy phrase कि बचपन से शौक था, लेकिन बचपन से शौक रिसर्च का तो नहीं था, but yes, studies and to find something new was always there. So मैं अपनी फैमिली में सबसे बड़ा हूँ, and my father got me a computer when I was 13, and at that time now I'll betray my age as well. So when I was 11, in 86 or something, people didn't even know about the word computer. So he got me an Atari 800 where I could program and stuff. So बचपन से ये चीजें, coding, programming, algorithm writing and stuff like that, I was very interested in it. So it helped me throughout my academic journey as well as in other things. So yes, I think that was the prime motivation.
आपको लगता है आप गोल्स में कितने फोकस थे और कितनी फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी थी? हाउ डज इट हेल्प टू शेप द ओवरऑल जर्नी?
Flexibility तो रखनी पड़ती है, because I was in telecom engineering, and somehow research point of view say it didn't appeal too much. So when I did my masters from MS and Nust के masters की जो beauty है वो ये है कि it has a 1 year coursework component and then 6 months on campus research, 1 year off campus research. So it's mainly a research degree. During my coursework, for the first time, I studied computer vision. So Dr. Naveed Iqbal Rao, हमारे teacher थे, he taught me this subject, and it opened a world for me. I felt at that time that this was a subject for me, because I could understand programming, and I could see the code, I could see the images in the form of their binary images and stuff like that, and the way he taught. So just after that, he had some research projects as well during the course, and they were really good, challenging, and they inspired me further to do research in my thesis in computer vision. And in fact, we helped the जो Pakistan Agriculture Research Council. So they used to manually look for the amount of glaciers in the mountains to predict कि पानी कितना आएगा eventually. And we did that automatically. So we did automatic glacier segmentation उनके लिए, that was mainly for them. तो flexibility थी, तो तभी I could change my research field and my interest.
That's a very interesting point, and I'm glad. I would say कि इस point पे you actually found your true calling, क्योंकि कई दफा वो बहुत late पता चलता है life में. So you found it at the right time. Would you call it a defining moment of your journey?
In terms of my academic journey, yes, definitely. That was a defining moment because I found something which I was interested in and I excelled in it, and it helped me. It opened many more doors for me. And as I kept, working on and on in the same field, it gave me more opportunities. So yes, in that sense, you could say that it was a defining moment.
आपसे अगर मैं पूछूं, आप अपनी जर्नी को देखें, including your personal life as well, not just professional life, and what you did in Pakistan, what you're doing there, mashallah. Overall, हमें तो बहुत successful journey लगती है, of course. But you as a person, do you consider yourself successful? Is that what we should aim for? Our younger graduates should learn from?
I think this question has, the answers to this question at different ages and at different points in life could be different. But now, at this point in time, I feel that success is not just publishing papers. Success is not just getting top citations and being on the, one of the top researchers. I feel that helping the people around you, helping your fellow Muslims, helping your fellow Pakistanis, whether you are in Pakistan or you are abroad, I feel that is more, that's a more, how would I say, that's more important for me. So voluntary work, community work, that makes me more happy. And I try to dedicate more time to that because I feel that eventually this is what I will take with me, not my papers, not my citations. People are going to forget those things. And in any case, I don't think that people would remember you. The one who needs to remember you, if he remembers you, when there is time for him to remember you, that is the real success.
That's a very inspiring answer. Thank you so much for sharing that. And yes, that's what I was saying. That's what I meant, that people can learn a lot from you. And I think जो हम बात कर रहे हैं कि पेपर साइटेशन कितनी है, आप कितने सक्सेसफुल हैं, ये सारी चीजें शायद early 20s, maybe early 30s that make a lot more sense. But as you realize, as you understand life, as you move on, you understand the meaning of fulfillment. And that is not only material, and that is not associated with any title. So yes, very relatable. बहुत अच्छा आंसर है आपका. I'm sure all of us can learn a lot from there. थोड़ा सा मैं आपसे चाहूंगी कंपेयर कीजिएगा जो आपने रिसर्च वर्क किया पाकिस्तान में, जो आपने यहाँ पे किया, उनमें क्या डिफरेंसेस हैं? कैन यू थिंक ऑफ समथिंग कि पाकिस्तान में कुछ प्रैक्टिसेस मिसिंग हैं जो होनी चाहिए, या जनरली एनी एडवाइस?
I would say कि पाकिस्तान में भी रिसर्च का जो सुपरविजन थी, it was really good. I had a really good supervisor, again Dr. Edith Cowan. But the problem, there are two problems. एक ये है कि वहाँ पे वो environment नहीं बनती, and that is mainly because funding available नहीं होती, funding नहीं है, but you don't have too many students, you don't have enough equipment and all that. and that is natural because जिस तरह का पाकिस्तान की जो financial situation है उसके हिसाब से the second thing is कि हम लोग शायद aim high नहीं करते वहां पे रह के thinking कि probably we will not get to that point where others have gone, especially from the Western countries. Whereas that is not true. The people like I have published in the best journals and conferences in the world. So it is me who has done it. I mean, I could have done that in Pakistan as well had I been there. But the point is that I think we lack that, how would you put it, vision. Then in Pakistan, we start aiming from lower quality stuff and then we go up, whereas we should, and people in Pakistan have that capability. They definitely have that capability. When they come out, you can see one of the top ranking researchers in my field, for example, Dr. Mubarak Shah in US, my own supervisor here, Dr. Ajmal Mia, Professor Ajmal Mia, and many others. They are leading in the research in my field.
I think मैं इसको relate करूँगी. Lately, Dr. Azim Sarwar जो ये मेरे graduate हैं, उन्होंने भी यही बात की थी कि we define our own limits. So if we define them low, then obviously we are going to attain low there. So that's a very good answer. इसी working environment दोनों countries का compare करते हुए यहाँ generally मैं थोड़ा सा आपका perspective चाहूँगी on females के लिए कितना conducive है, क्योंकि एक equality की हम बात तो करते हैं और अब शायद बहुत ज़्यादा करते हैं, लेकिन it is seen more in theory than in practice. At the end, there are still glass ceilings, in my opinion. What do you think?
Look, I am from engineering, from STEM, we just call them science, technology, engineering, mathematics background, STEM field से हूँ. और STEM में वैसे भी there are very few women. But what I could say, I can tell you that पाकिस्तान में जिस वक्त मैंने मास्टर्स किया, I mean UG के वक्त तो we didn't have, MCS में तो थे ही नहीं females. उस वक्त when I was about to graduate उस वक्त शुरू हो गई थी female intake. But when I went there for masters and when I was an instructor, we had so many female students, especially in computer science. Masters maybe and then PhD maybe कुछ भी. उतनी I think यहाँ नहीं. And you will be surprised to know that. STEM field में यहाँ पे Australia में and even I think UK maybe there are very few females, very few women. So I would say in that sense Pakistan is doing really good, but here we are trying to bring more females, and it's not that the only issue sometimes happens is कि उनकी कुछ responsibilities ज़्यादा होती हैं, because of that they don't come forward. But when they do excellent work. मेरी अपनी postdoc, I have a female postdoc, I have 3 female PhD students who are doing really good, and they're defining new problems and trying to solve them. So
But जो आप बात कर रहे हैं students की, चलें वो तो है कि किसका interest है, कौन आ रहा है. How about the environment when they, after completing their studies, when they are practically in the field, वो पाकिस्तान में और यहाँ पे आपको लगता है कि वो equality, are we moving towards it at least? Not just in ratio side, ratio sense. I mean, generally overall, how conducive it is?
I think पाकिस्तान में शायद वो एक respect का answer तो है, that factor element of respect है, but honestly when I was in Nust, I was the what would you call faculty coordinator and all that. I don't think that it's too conducive for females. I don't think that we make it too easy for them. For example, here in Australia, they give you 9 months of paid maternity leave, right? And even after that, they give you as a primary carer, they give you leave, they support you. I don't think in Pakistan में इतनी ज़्यादा है. Now people would say कि हमारे पास वैसे खाने को पैसे इतने नहीं होते हैं. पाकिस्तान में financially तो Pakistan is not it's a developed country, right? So how could you do that? I understand, but then these are important points, these are important factors to keep to enable women, to enable females in any environment. Otherwise you lose them. So I think that's an important point. Apart from that, harassment तो यहाँ भी है, यहाँ भी होती रहती है. But the only thing is कि जब होती है, then they try to resolve that, and they do try to punish people, even at the very senior levels of whether it's in academia or in government. Recently, हमारा Australia का Attorney General had to resign because somebody had alleged something against him. So I think that factor is missing in Pakistan.
Yes, I think जहाँ से मैंने बात की स्टूडेंट के रेशो की, तो देयर आई मेंट कि जिसका इंटरेस्ट है उसके लिए एटलीस्ट पॉसिबिलिटी होनी चाहिए. अगर लोगों का इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं है, ऑफ कोर्स दैट्स अ वेरी डिफरेंट टॉपिक देन क्यों नहीं है और उसके क्या रीजंस हैं. बट लाइक आपने बताया कि एमसीएस में उस टाइम पे स्टार्ट हुई थी इनटेक, उससे पहले वो पॉसिबिलिटी नहीं थी. ईएमई कॉलेज में डॉक्टर सारा कुरैशी हैं, उनका मैंने लेके इंटरव्यू किया. शी वाज द फर्स्ट फीमेल स्टूडेंट हु पुश्ड हर वे थ्रू टू बी सिलेक्टेड एज student at for mechanical engineering at EME. उससे पहले EME एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं करते थे फीमेल स्टूडेंट्स को. अभी भी आई थिंक एरोनॉटिकल इंजीनियरिंग है, सिविल इंजीनियरिंग है, उनके कैंपसेस आर ऑल बॉयज कैंपसेस स्टिल. सो पॉसिबिलिटी वहाँ होना, जो क्वालिफाई करता है और जिसका इंटरेस्ट है, दैट्स वन थिंग. और उसके बाद जो आप बात करेंगे कंड्यूसिव एनवायरनमेंट की, दैट इज सो ट्रू. पेड पेरेंटल लीव जर्मनी में फादर को भी मिल जाती है. So there's a long way to go कि हम पाकिस्तान में उस चीज से कंपेयर कर सकें. और दूसरी जो आपने हरासमेंट वगैरह की बात की, ऑफ कोर्स देयर आर सो मेनी प्रेशर्स. आई थिंक वहाँ पे ग्लास सीलिंग सबसे ज्यादा आती है. नॉट एवरीबडी कैन कॉल दैट आउट. बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है वो सिचुएशन. यू कांट रियली पुट इट राइट जस्ट लाइक probably you can in Australia or maybe in Europe or something. वहाँ पे we do have a long way to go, but it's good to know that people like you think in this direction and you actually encourage के female conducive होना चाहिए. So that's probably the change we need at this point. Please थोड़ा सा बताइए. Sorry, जी जी.
So I said this is important. Female participation is really important. कि अगर हमने as a nation कहीं पहुंचना है, तो you need female participation. So.
Definitely. कोई एडवाइस आप देना चाहेंगे younger graduates को या alumni को कि how can we improve on things generally?
I would say faith. सबसे पहले, coming out of from Pakistan, जहाँ पे हम सब we probably share the same faith, we don't realize that we have an identity. Whoever you are, whatever you are, we have an identity, and first of all, I think stick to that identity. Be proud of the identity. I think after that comes anything else, because I have seen so many people here who have been excellent, who are excellent perhaps in their fields, but they've lost their identity. And this is, I say again, this is a temporary world, and if you lose your identity now, it's not going to help you later. So identity, and then is dedication to whatever you're doing. Sincerity and dedication. Steadfast. जो ये failures होते हैं, they are there to take you up. Should not be afraid of failures. Even मैं भी, in my own PhD, I could not publish anything for the first year. And that's whereas my colleagues were doing that. And I felt कि बस गया काम से मैं तो मतलब I'm not a good person, a researcher. I can't do it. But stayed steadfast, and so hard work, sincerity, stay steadfast, and then in the end remember that this is not all. Your family is very important. Take care of the family. That is more important than anything else. They are going to be by your side when nobody else is. And then your community and your other people around you, your neighbors, your community, they're important. Help them around, and that will give you a fulfilled life.
That's a very good advice. Thank you so much. And I think ये किसी हद तक शायद responsibility parents पे भी आती है कि हम जब अपने बच्चों को बहुत encourage कर रहे होते हैं, you can do it, you can get selected in the best university, then you're going to be, I don't know, best at whatever job you do. उस time पे ये सब inculcate करना भी बहुत जरूरी है कि this is not the end of the world. If you'll do good, great. But if you won't, it's okay. It's important कि आपकी family आपके इर्द-गिर्द, how are they doing? How is the community doing? Like you just mentioned, and sincerity, all these values that we need to inculcate. I think ये सारा काफी responsibility parents पे भी आती है.
I would just quickly like to add over here कि हम लोग College of Signals में हमने 1997 में I think 1990 में पहला बैच जो है हमारे टेक्निकल क्रेडिट कोर्सेज का शुरू हुआ था. नस्ट का पहला बैच 93 में आया था, बट आफ्टर दैट हमने 97 में पहला गेट टुगेदर किया. दैट वाज द फर्स्ट टाइम सिग्नेलियंस को हमने एस्टैब्लिश किया, सिग्नेलियंस एलुमनाई एसोसिएशन को. बट इस नाम से नहीं किया, बट देयर वाज दिस वाज अ फाउंडेशन. And then later on, it was founded formally in 2003 by a group of very young but very energetic people. जिसमें my course में Shiraz Bashir was there, Sir Mansoor TCC4 से हैं, Amar Ahmed Khan, and there were many others, and TCC1 से Sir Hussain थे. The point of telling you this is that they started something which everyone could relate to. And then we had an alumni, and we had a very close-knit alumni, which helped everyone, whether they were in Pakistan or abroad. I remember one of our juniors lost his life in US, and just to bring his body and his family to Pakistan, we collected money at that time. I don't know, $20,000, $30,000. Then during the earthquake, so many alumni came forward. Some even went to the places, the disaster struck places during the floods as well. And I think 4 years ago, Signalians Alumni Association was the largest alumni to donate about 12 million rupees to our Signalians Endowment Fund for the scholarship of needy students. So Alhamdulillah, we have an alumni. So we have an alumni जिसमें लोग ऐसे थे जो सोच सकते थे कि हमने अपने लिए नहीं करना. Especially the current president, he has suffered so much for his own health, from his family, but he has done a lot for the alumni. So yes, Alhamdulillah, we have had mentors, and we have had colleagues, peers, and juniors जो ऐसे हैं जो दूसरों के बारे में सोचते हैं.
Definitely, now when I'm reaching out to all the Nustians, I realize कि Signalians का वाकई सबसे strong network है. और हमने शराज भाई का भी जब इंटरव्यू किया था, उसमें यही बात बहुत डिटेल में डिस्कस की थी, how he has been helping out people, how people are coming forward for the same cause throughout the years. और अभी तो उनके प्रॉपर नेशनल यूएसए जो है वो एक नॉन प्रॉफिट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वो रजिस्टर करवा चुके हैं. अ लॉट हैपनिंग देयर माशाल्लाह. क्विकली मैं आऊंगी, इंटरव्यू का टाइम खत्म हो रहा है. सम अप करने के लिए आपका टाइम एमसीएस में कैसा था?
I think one of the best times in my life, for always remember that. I think best friends, जो बेस्ट फ्रेंडशिप बनी वो ऑब्वियसली उस जमाने में थी. जूनियर्स भी थे, सीनियर्स भी, एंड ऑल दैट. बट आई थिंक आई चेरिश दैट टाइम द मोस्ट.
आई एम वेरी ग्लैड कि किसी मिलिट्री कॉलेज के ग्रेजुएट ने सिर्फ रूट्स को याद नहीं किया, पहले ये भी कहा है कि टाइम अच्छा था. I don't know, बाकी मैं तो जिस से मिला हूँ हमेशा सब उसी टाइम को याद करते हैं. स्पेशली एमसीएस के समोसे आप नहीं भूल सकते हैं. आपने कभी खाए नहीं, लेकिन you have to be very lucky to have them. नहीं, everybody remembers और याद करते हैं, फ्रेंडशिप याद करते हैं, लेकिन सबसे पहले बात ये करते हैं कि रूल्स बात करें जो थे. You can't deny that. लेकिन मैं तो मेरा तो चूंकि मिलिट्री के साथ ताल्लुक था, इसलिए रूल्स were ingrained in me. But now that we were 36, out of which we were only 10 from the military, there's 26 were civilians. And now when I talk to them, they say that they were successful in their life only because of these rules, because they learned something. They learned a discipline. They learned discipline, and they learned how to abide by rules. That is how they feel. They might be wrong. I don't know, because people are very उस स्टेज पे आपको थोड़ा सा, I would say, थोड़ा सा डंडा चाहिए होता है, because this is what keeps you online. But I think जो leadership का, I'm sorry, मैं आपको quickly बताऊंगा कि जो leadership skills है, जो मैं आपसे कह रहा था कि मैंने अपने academic life के अलावा भी जो कुछ यहाँ किया,
मैं अभी भी कम्युनिटी लीडर्स में से शामिल हूँ यहाँ पे पर्थ में, चाहे पाकिस्तानी एसोसिएशन हो, चाहे मुस्लिम स्टूडेंट्स एसोसिएशन हो, चाहे किसी भी, आई एम वन ऑफ द लीडर्स एंड आई थिंक दैट इज बिकॉज द आई वुड से दैट इसका जो रीजन है, ये कंट्रीब्यूटिंग फैक्टर्स है, MCS is one of the main contributing factors, and obviously my life in the military which taught me how to do this. I probably would not have been able to do that had I not been.
जो आप अंडरग्रेड में वैसे भी सीखते हैं, जनरली जो फ्रेंडशिप्स होती हैं और जो वैल्यूज और आप में इंकलकेट की जाती हैं, प्रॉब्ली वो आप बाकी सारी जिंदगी कभी भी नहीं सीख सकते. थैंक यू सो मच. आई एम सॉरी आई हैव टू रश हियर. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर टाइम. बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे बात करके, बहुत अच्छी एडवाइसेस दी हैं आपने. आई होप ऑल ऑफ अस कैन लर्न एंड एक्चुअली प्रैक्टिस दोस एज वेल, इंशाल्लाह.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful that आपने मुझे इनवाइट किया इस प्रोग्राम पे. Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone for watching. Allah Hafiz.